Welcome to the Profit with Purpose show. I'm your host, Anna Goldstein, NYU certified coach, entrepreneur, and author. This is an informative and uplifting podcast where I dive deep into lives of entrepreneurs and change makers who are making money through living their life's purpose. The Profit with Purpose podcast is produced every week on Thursdays. Please subscribe to be the first to get updates about new episodes. All links and show notes are found at annagoldstein.com/podcast. Now let's get started. Listen up with an open heart and mind. Hello, welcome back. This is episode number 117. This is kind of a fun and spontaneous episode. I was sitting in my office deleting a bunch of emails because I have like 5,000 emails in my inbox and I'm down to 2,000 now. But I was sitting in my office and my son came in and we were playing a little bit. And then I said, oh, do you want to record a podcast? So we recorded a podcast together, which you'll find at the end of this episode. And then I got inspired to share some principles that are really important to me and what I want to teach my son, as well as principles that I live by and teach my clients. So here are the 4 principles. Principle number 1 is that we have the power to change our thoughts. So our thoughts really matter and they play a really big role in our behavior, right? So the very classic model of human functioning is thoughts create your feelings, which create your behaviors, which create your results. So I have a really cute story about this with my son. He was sitting at the kitchen table opening pistachios, and some of them are a little bit easy to open and some are a little bit harder, the ones that are a little bit more closed. He was sitting there at the table and he was trying to get this pistachio open, and he said, I can't do it. And I said, say out loud, I can do it. And he said, I can't do it. I said, say, I can do it. And he went, I can do it. And boom, opened up the pistachio. The pistachio jumped out. And it was like this aha moment. And it was so powerful that he could see that when he shifted from I can't do it to I can do it. So anytime he says, I can't do it, I reinforce, you can do it. And I have him say out loud, I can do it. And last night before bed, he was playing with some yoga blocks. And he himself, now that he's getting a little bit older, he was having a tough time putting a piece together. And he said, I can do it. He missed a couple of times and then it clicked. He put the piece together. It was so touching. I was just so proud of him. I didn't say anything because I wanted him to just experience it. But that's a really important principle that I want to teach him, to shift from I can't to I can, and that he has the power to change his thoughts and that he can exercise this ability that we all have in flexible thinking. The second principle I want to share with you is gratitude. So we have a gratitude practice. At night before bed, I ask him, Evan, what are you grateful for? Sometimes I use the word thankful, but a lot of times I use grateful. And he'll say things like sharks, and he'll say things like strawberries. He'll ask me what I'm grateful for. And sometimes he'll say, Mommy, you can't say that. You have to be grateful for an animal. I'll say, I'm grateful for you. And he'll say, you can't say that. You have to be grateful for an animal. So it's really cute. And sometimes we make it fun. We incorporate sometimes in the middle of the day where we're like, okay, let's play the gratitude game. And we'll take turns. We'll say, Evan, it's your turn. What's something that you're grateful for? And kind of similar to I Spy, we'll look around the room and we'll just point out things that we're grateful for. So I want to make it fun and something that can be uplifting. And the reason why this is important is because gratitude really impacts our emotional experience. And it also allows us to intentionally create good feelings. And this is really helpful skill because so often our brains can go towards what's negative or what isn't working out. And this is the ability to control our focus and to direct our attention to the good that's already there. The third is that it's okay to make mistakes. We're human beings. I make mistakes all the time. By no means am I a perfect mom, and I'm not trying to be perfect. I want him to see that I make mistakes. I own it when I make a mistake. I say, oops, mommy made a mistake. and sometimes he'll say to me, "It's okay, mommy," because he hears me say that to him. This is inspired by someone I very much admire, which is Sarah Blakely, and she's the creator of Spanx. She became the youngest female entrepreneur who's a billionaire. And her story and why I think she's become so successful that I've heard is that when she was in school, her father would reinforce this idea that he would celebrate failure with her. And he would be disappointed if she didn't come home from school and have something to share that she failed at. And she would be like, Dad, I tried out for this and it was horrible. And he would high five her. And so she was able to reframe this idea of failure, that failure is just not trying. And it's something that has allowed her to create, because so many people hold themselves back from creating the business that they want or the art that they want because they're afraid of failure. So I use the word mistakes because I don't know, for right now, that's what I'm using. Maybe it will be failure when he gets older and has a little bit more language. But I just think it's so important because one, where perfectionism holds people back so much. And two, that, we're not perfect beings and we're going to make mistakes. And if we can learn from those mistakes, so a lot of very successful people have learned the most from their mistakes, right? In the moment, it can be quite painful, it can be upsetting, and we can, kind of make some space that it's okay to be upset, it's okay, but what did we learn and how can we keep going? My intention behind this is really to cultivate the attitude of just keep going, keep trying, keep figuring it out. Because if you want to create something amazing, you're going to make mistakes. Anything you do, you're going to make mistakes, and that it's totally safe and okay. I know it's very helpful that once I started to cultivate this mindset as an entrepreneur. Number 4 is feel the fear and do it anyways. So before I recorded this podcast with Evan. He said to me, Mom, I'm a little bit nervous. And I said, it's okay to be nervous. And we did it anyways. So I think it's really important to acknowledge that it's okay to be fearful. It's okay to be nervous. And this was really fun because I do this in my work because the number one thing that blocks us is fear, all of us. Evan said to me, I was laying in bed with him and I turned off the light. And he said to me, Mommy, I'm just a little afraid. And I said, that's okay. Say, hi, fear, how are you? What does fear say? I asked him. And he said, it asked me how old I am. And I said, what do you say? And he said, I'm a little brave. The fear is starting to go away. When we acknowledge the fear, we say hi to it rather than push it away or pretend that it's not there, it can lose some of its power. And I also reinforce this idea that you can feel the fear and do it and give him the mantra, I am brave. And I have him point to his heart. And so he has this mantra that sometimes when he's afraid, he went through this phase where he was really afraid of ants in the summertime. And sometimes he would scream and run away. But sometimes he would go, I am brave, and walk through it. So I want to reinforce this idea not to let fear hold him back and that he can face it. And sometimes he'll say to me, Mommy, I am brave, because he has that in his toolbox. So facing fears builds confidence, it builds courage, and it goes without saying that that's very useful for life. So there's a big misconception that we should be confident before we do something, but confidence is often the result of doing something that you're afraid of. Life will always have its ups and downs, but my real goal is that to give not only Evan, but the people that I work with, and something I work on constantly, is creating a toolbox to manage our mind, manage our life to our best capacity. Ultimately, these 4 principles are pretty simple. Number 1, you have the ability to change your thoughts, and you can change thoughts from I can't do it to I can do it. Number 2, developing a gratitude practice or focusing more on gratitude. Number 3, it's okay to make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes and you can learn from it and grow from it. Number 4, facing your fears, feeling the fear and doing it anyways, cultivating courage and developing confidence. So, without further ado, I want to share with you the podcast that I did with Evan. It's short and sweet. I have a very, very special guest, my son, Evan, who's 3.5 years old. Evan, say hi.
Hi.
And we're going to do an interview. Evan, what is your favorite toy?
Cement mixers.
You like cement mixers. Is there a certain color of a cement mixer that you like?
Red.
Red? Did you just get a new red cement mixer? Yeah? You're nodding your head yes? Yeah?
Yes.
And who do you like to watch on YouTube?
Blippi.
Blippi? Anybody else? Any other shows?
No.
No other shows? Just Blippi? Yeah? And what do you like to do for fun?
Play.
Playing is so much fun. Where do you like to play?
In my playroom.
In your playroom? Where else? Anywhere else?
I like to draw.
You like to draw? You like arts and crafts? Yeah. And do you play at school? Do you go to school?
Mm-hmm.
And do you have friends at school?
Yes.
How many friends do you have?
100.
Wow, that's a lot of friends. And what do you do with your friends?
Play with them.
Is there something that you play with them, or you just play all different things?
I just play all different things.
And do you have teachers?
Yes.
What are your teachers' names?
Miss Greenblatt.
And?
Mr. Barrow.
You have 2 teachers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And do you like to go to sleep?
Yes.
You do? Are you a good sleeper? Yeah. Are you a good eater?
Yes.
Yeah. Are you a good friend?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What about cousin?
Mm-hmm.
You a good cousin?
I also like that picture way up there.
Oh, you like that picture that you made at school? That's on my wall?
And the monkeys, I made that.
You made that picture in the monkeys, that's right.
And that picture in the monkeys. And that picture in the monkeys.
Yeah. Evan, what do you want to be when you grow up?
A construction worker.
Oh, yeah. What were you for Halloween? Were you a construction worker? Did you have so much fun trick-or-treating? Yeah? What did you like about it?
I liked getting candy.
You didn't get candy.
Yes.
Are you sure? Yeah. Yeah. Did we carve a pumpkin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we need some more pumpkins.
What do you love about Mommy?
I love you.
You love me? Oh, I love you too. And that's the show. If you like this podcast, please write a review and share it with your friends. Questions, email me at info@annagoldstein.com. Thanks so much and talk to you soon.